Hello, everybody. It's Daniel here. Welcome to Emotional English Podcast, the podcast where you learn an English language effortlessly, emotionally, fulfilled with energy, and of course, positively. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. So today I've prepared another topic for you guys, and the topic is generally about the new vocab. So it's another genre we are having here on our podcast. It's called the vocabulary practice. And every single time we would pick the topic to discussion, right, for our discussion. And today we will discuss the topic of renting an apartment or house. So what does it mean when you rent an apartment or house? It means you physically go to the place you want to live. And there is another side of this story. There is a person who is ready to give you this place, and he would ask money for that, right? So this is the simple explanation of renting an apartment. So you want an apartment to stay in, and the person, another side, wants to give you this apartment for money, right? You pay money. And this topic is pretty big and rich with a vocab. And we will discuss 10 examples today, what people use and what people say about this topic. And we will try to understand full logic of these 10 situations. And I will explain the full vocab list today. There are some essential phrases, right? And today we will discuss the essential part of this story. We will speak what is a roommate, what is leasing, what is utilities, right? What is deposits, some rundown apartments. What is a rundown apartment? What is a furnished apartment? Who is a landlord? What does it mean when something is desirable? What is happening when you're breaking a lease? What does it mean when you are showing an apartment, right? Or just as showing, right? So that's all the topics and all the vocab we will face today, okay? I hope it will be interesting and useful for you guys. If you're planning to live in the USA or in England, probably you will need these for sure. And as you remember, I do have a community group on Telegram. So if you want to join us, we post a new content every single day almost, and you can find some interesting ideas and thoughts there. Just go to Emotional English on TG, and if you want to support our podcast, just go to Boosty channel, Emotional English, and support us. With your donations, we're becoming stronger, and I have more motivation to make podcast episodes even more often than I do right now. So anyway, let's go back to our discussion. And discussion is about renting an apartment or house. And the first phrase I want to share with you today is pretty simple. Let's hear how does it look like. I can't afford this place unless I get a roommate to split the costs. I will read again. I can't afford this place unless I get a roommate to split the costs. So we have a couple words here, right? The first word is I can't afford this place. And another one is I need to get a roommate to split the costs. Even three parts, right? I can afford something, I get a roommate, and I need to split the costs. Logic is pretty simple. If you can't afford something, you don't have enough money for this, right? And if you can't afford the apartment and to live in Manhattan, so probably you need something cheaper, maybe Brooklyn. So you say, I can't afford to buy a Ferrari. I can't afford to buy a new phone every year. I can't afford to live in the city center, right, near the Kremlin. So this is the way of can't afford usage. Next word is roommate. Who is a roommate? Roommate is a person who lives with you, right, at the same place or at the same apartment or house. It's your roommate. And it can be a boy or a girl. It's okay. But the thing is, roommates help you to cover the costs of an apartment. So that's why we have the next vocab to describe. It's the splitting the costs. So if you have the price for the apartment, let's say you pay $1,000 monthly every month. So you splitting the cost. And if you have a one roommate, so you pay $500 and your roommate pay $500. That's why roommates are here, because it's cheaper to rent an apartment or house with a roommate. Pretty simple logic, isn't it? But again, roommate is a person who you share an apartment or house with, And you also share the rent or bills. By the way, do you know that there is a payment of rent and there is a payment of bills? The bills, it's a little bit different story. It's the bill for electricity, for your phone, for your internet. But the rent is another story. It's the payment that you make and that you give to the person who gives you this apartment. So the roommate is not just a person in a room, as you understand. It's a partner in the living arrangement, right? So arrangement, it's like a document that you have, and you have an agreement between your roommate and yourself to pay for this apartment according to the documents you signed, okay? So roommates are pretty useful, isn't it? I would have a little reflection on the roommate. So the idea of a roommate is full of emotion, to be honest. It can be a friend, it can be a little friendship between you and another person. And another side of it, it's about saving money. It's an idea of saving money. But also, it's a potential conflicts and loss of privacy. Let's imagine you want to go to the bathroom, right? And you're farting pretty loud. So is it comfortable for you when somebody is hearing that you're farting pretty loudly? No, it's not, because you have a lack of privacy. So privacy, it's another word. It describes your openness, right? If the room is closed, so you have privacy. If the room is open, there is no privacy. If you have a webcam in your room, you have no privacy. If you're free of webcams or you have no microphone, you have privacy. Easy, isn't it? Isn't it? So let's go next. So that was the first example, and I think it was pretty useful. I will read the example again. I can't afford this place. I can afford to buy or to pay for rent in this place. I need to get a roommate to split the costs, right? Unless I get a roommate to split the costs. So I need to find a roommate to split the costs. Second situation. The apartment is great, but the landlord wants a 12-month lease, which feels like a big commitment. Big commitment, yeah. So we have a couple great words here. The first word is landlord. Second word is lease. And the third word is commitment, Beautiful, amazing vocab. So the first is landlord. Who is a landlord? Actually, it's pretty simple to understand, right? So it's the person who owns an apartment. You can call him a landlord. So the landlord gives you the apartment for rent, right? And it's not just the rent. Rent is just the payment you give to your landlord every month, but you have a 12-month lease. Lease, it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit enhanced thing, right? So it's the document that you sign, and you have your apartment for a whole year in this context, right? It's a 12-month lease. So you have more responsibility when you have a contract, right? So the lease is your contract. And sometimes it's a 12-month lease. Sometimes it's 6-month lease. Sometimes it's years of leasing, right? And there are many things happen nowadays with leasing. So, the air companies, they use these planes for leasing, and it's very popular dynamic. So it's very expensive to have your own jets, right? But when you have a lease, so you pay rent every month, and it's easier to structure your budget, right? And again, the last word was a commitment, right? Big commitment. It's like a big responsibility. When you make a commitment, you say to everybody, hey, I'm a big guy now, right? So that's a commitment. Or you can make another commitment. I want to learn English and I will become the greatest speaker, right? That's a commitment. It's something big you announce to people, and it's big. It's when you take a responsibility, extra responsibility. That's your commitments. So let's read again. The apartment is great, but the landlord wants a 12-month lease, which feels like a big commitment, right? It feels like a big responsibility to pay 12 months according to the documents, right? To the leasing document. So lease in general is an official legal contract, as we discussed before. And when you sign this contract, so you kind of paying money, paying rent for a property for a specific period of time. 12, 6, 2, 3, depends on the contract. Reflection here is pretty simple. So lease represents security for some and a trap for others. Security, because you have guaranteed 12 months of leasing. So it means nobody can go in. Nobody can say, hey, look, you should leave. You have a contract. According to the contract, nobody can say bye-bye to you because you have a document that protects you. That's why this contract is very nice. It's about your protection. But another side of this story is that it's a pretty big trap. Trap, it's like it's like a place where you cannot go out from. So the trap is the place where the mouse goes when they want to eat cheese, right? The mice, they like cheese. So they go to a trap and then, boom, you cannot go out of it. You are almost dead. So it's about responsibilities and who knows, will you have a chance to pay 12-month payments, right? So some people, they have troubles with that. And maybe it's okay to pay for 6 months, but then something happens, you lost your job or something else, and it's a trap now. Now you have a lot of responsibility and you have no money to pay. So that's a trap, financial trap, right? And it's a contract. Remember, you signed it, you have a problem, trouble. But on the other hand, it's a pretty good security option. So you're protected. Nobody can come in and say, hey, get out. It's my apartment now. No, because you have a document. It's a legal document. Okay. I think we discussed this situation as well. We got the nice apartment and the landlord wants a 12-month lease, which feels like a big commitment, big responsibility for us, right? Let's jump to the next one. Situation number 3. The rent is $1,500 US, and that doesn't even include utilities. Okay. So the focus word here is utilities. Do you know what is utilities? Yeah, it's a good word. Actually, it's a bad word, but we should pay for it every month if you stay somewhere. Even if you have your own apartment, you should pay for your utilities every month, right? So utilities is like the hidden cost of a freedom, right? Idiomically speaking, because you have your own apartment, right? But you have extra bills you should pay for, right? Electricity, mobile phone, whatever, your internet, your, your gas, whatever it is. I don't know what kind of services you're using. Maybe the payment for my buzzer. You know, what is a buzzer? It's a thing that you calling to the apartment. You know, you're using this buzzer. You call the room and then somebody say hello. And then you asking for opening the door, right? For the door opening. And yes, this is a buzzer you're using. And it's a utility as well. So I pay for the buzzer every single month, 30 rubles, right? 30 rubles every month. Yeah, it's a little payment, but it is my utility, right? What kind of utilities do you have? Hope not much, and you don't pay for much. But, you know, if you live in Russia, our utilities are very small. I mean, we pay a little money for this. But in the US, the prices are pretty high, and in Europe as well. So if we have a rent of $1,500, it's not include utilities, right? This price does not include utilities because utilities are extra always. And you can have some agreements with your landlord, right? Sometimes they give you the utilities half price, or they give you zero utilities. So they say, okay, you pay $1,500 a month. It's enough. So the rent price includes utilities, right? So it's another situation. Good situation. I hope it was pretty clear, and I don't need to comment anything else here. So the rent is $1,500, and that doesn't even include utilities. Great. Situation number 4. To get the keys, we have to pay the security deposit up front. Beautiful words here. The first phrase is security deposit. The second one is upfront, right? Security deposit. It's the deposit you give to the landlord every single time before you check in. Let's say I want to rent an apartment. The apartment rent price is $1,500, but the landlord asks a security deposit. It's about $1,000 upfront, right? It means I must to pay extra $1,000 in advance before I pay for rent, right? Or I should pay for my monthly usage of an apartment and then security deposit. Why it's called security deposit? Because if you break something in the end of your stay, you should pay for it. Let's say there was a sofa, I don't know, you had broken it, right? I don't know, you broke it badly, and then the landlord is using your deposit, security deposit, to pay for this sofa, right? Or the chair, or whatever it is. I think it's pretty clear. So to get the keys, we have to pay the security deposit up front. It means in advance. Upfront means you pay it first, forward. Okay? Let's do a little reflection on the deposit. So when you pay a deposit, it's the act of trust, right? You're giving someone a large amount of your money, and you're hoping you'll get it back for sure. But it feels like a promise. If you say, "Hey, everything will be okay," so this money guarantees that everything will be okay, right? So have you ever given something valuable to someone, and maybe you had been trusting someone, right? And that's a very difficult thing, right? Because you never know what kind of people are these, and you need security deposits nowadays. Everything costs money, and we should be protected. And the landlord want to be protected. That's why it's a pity thing, but we should pay for it. I think we can go next, right? So I would read the situation number 4 again, and then we will go to number 5. So to get the keys, we have to pay the security deposit up front, right? In advance. Number 5. Oh, it's a beautiful phrase here. We looked at one apartment that was completely run down. The paint was peeling, and it smelled weird. Okay. So we looked at one apartment, right? And that apartment was completely run down. So run down, that's the focus word number 1 here. When something is run down, it means that it is pretty old, or it's about being old, or it's about feeling very, very sad, you know? So when something is run down, you see that it's almost broken, right? It's not good. And we use an example here. The paint was peeling, right? You can peel the potato when you cook the potato or your soup, or your paint on the wall was peeling as well sometimes, and it's not very funny thing. When something is peeled, right? It's just not very good looking. And here we have another bad example for rundown apartments is smell. Somewhere smelled weird, right? It means that the smell was not good, and you wanted to fix it somehow. Sometimes when people go and look for the apartments which are run down, they ask for a discount, or they ask for a renovation, or they can ask for a cheaper price for an apartment. I think it's pretty good. When you see a rundown apartment, please run away. But if you're okay with that, so you can ask for a little, okay, you can save some money, right? I wanted to use another one, like a little discount. That's what I wanted to say. So you just needed some discount, so you can live in the rundown apartment. It's okay, completely fine to live there. Yeah. And let's do a little reflection on rundown. So rundown isn't just about being old sometimes, right? It's about feelings, and it's about feeling sad, right? About things. So you can say that this apartment is run down. Yes, it's a fact that it looks very bad, but it's all about your feelings. You feel depressed about the apartment, so you say, "Oh, look, I think this is run down. This is not good looking, and I feel very bad." So when we walk into a rundown place, we can almost feel its history, right? That nobody was caring enough about this place. It has a heavy negative energy, and that's why you can call it run down. So I hope you got this. Many old apartments with mice, with bad smells, they feel run down. Let's go to the sixth example, guys. So we discussed the example when we looked at one apartment and that was completely run down, and the paint was peeling and it smelled very weird, so it was not good. Now we go to the next example. It's number 6. And now we're looking for a furnished apartment because I don't own a bed or a sofa. So the thing is, when you're looking for an apartment for rent, right, you need an apartment that has a bed or sofa. And you can call these apartments furnished. If an apartment is furnished, it means you have all the necessities there. You have the bed, you have the table. Yes, maybe it's not a perfect table, it's not a perfect bed, it's not a perfect mattress, but at least the apartment is furnished. But sometimes in Europe and in America, there is a very popular option. So when you come to the apartment with a furniture, your own furniture, and people, when they move in and move out, they have their own furniture. And some people, they cannot move in because they have a lot of furniture they own, and they're looking for a particular options, unfurnished options, right? So furnished and unfurnished, it's two opposites. I hope it was pretty understandable in this case. And let's read again and jump to the number 7. I'm looking for a furnished apartment because I don't own a bed or sofa. Good, right? So we got this. But if I don't have a bed, if I don't have a sofa, am I looking for an apartment that is furnished or unfurnished? Yes, indeed. I need a furnished apartment because I don't have a bed or sofa. And if I have a lot of things, right, a lot of beds and sofas and all kind of furniture, I'm looking for unfurnished apartment. And it's okay. Sometimes it's cheaper to rent an unfurnished apartment. And it's good. You don't care. You don't even need this deposit because most people, they are scared of the broken TV. They're scared of broken sofa or bed. But now you can regulate this part with Landlord and you pay less in advance, right? Or how we called it before, upfront. Let's go to the next situation, number 8. It's in a very desirable neighborhood, so the rent is extremely high. It's in a very desirable neighborhood, so the rent is extremely high. As you see, the focus word here is desirable, right? It's number 1. When something is desirable, as you see, you really want this. You really want this. I want to live in this place. And there are hundreds and hundreds of people who want the same place. So that's why many people desire it. So desirable, it's something very good, right? So it's a very desirable neighborhood. What is a neighborhood? It's the place where you want to live and there are some neighbors near you. You call this place neighborhood, the place where you live, where is your apartment. So if I live in Garachi Cluj, I have my own neighborhood. It's near the lake and it's a good neighborhood. But there are some bad neighborhoods here in Garachi and I don't want to live there. It's not desirable. So the rent is extremely high in the places like desirable places, right? Desirable neighborhoods, the rent in the desirable neighborhood is extremely high. Why? Because it's desirable. People want to live there. It's better places, better living, better amenities around, right? It's good to live in the desirable neighborhood. Let's jump to the next one. We have desirable. This word can be used in different locations, right? In a bit different situations. So the chocolate can be desirable. Your apartment can be desirable. Your car can be desirable. It's a pretty multi-usable word, right? That's what I wanted to say extra. What else? It's not all. The situation number 9, right? My job is transferring me to another city. So I might have to break my lease. And the focus phrase here is to break my lease. What does it mean in this context, to break my lease? It's not about breaking your apartment. It's not about breaking your car. It's not about breaking your pencil. It's about breaking the lease, the document. When you're breaking the lease, it means that you end the rental contract. So, and you do this earlier than the agreed upon date. And this often comes with a penalty fee. So, that's why it's a little bit of It's a little bit of what? It's a little bit of, how do you call it? It's a little bit of trap, right? I had forgotten this word, guys. Yes, it was a little bit of trap because if you want to break your lease, you should pay a penalty fee. And penalty fee, it's the payment you should make that is not for your staying. It's for breaking the lease. And this sum is listed in your documents, right? If you break it, if you want to stop living in this apartment, yes, you don't pay for whole period there, but you have to pay the penalty fee, okay? So this is not a good payment. It's pretty powerful, by the way. So to break an agreement is pretty powerful and sometimes a very scary option. Let's imagine you have this lease or this contract, right, for 5 years, and you should leave this place earlier. Let's say you just rented this, and then you have a 5 years lease, and then you should leave. You should say, sorry, guys, I'm leaving. What's going to happen? It's a big problem, right? Why it's a big problem? Because now you should pay a penalty, and this penalty can cost you a lot of money. So that's why it's a little bit of trap, as we discussed. So my job is transferring me to another city. Oopsie doopsie. So I might have to break my lease. Sad story. And the last but not least phrase for you guys for today is the number 10. So the realtor is going to give us a showing of the apartment this afternoon. So the realtor is going to give us a showing of the apartment this afternoon. So who is the realtor? So that's the person who is showing you an apartment. It's the profession, the real estate person. So that's the realtor. So the person who gives you the apartment for rent. It's a side person, so it's not the owner. It's just the guy who is taking extra money, who is, let's say, having some percentage from every transaction, from every rent. So that's the realtor. So if he gives you the apartment for rent, you pay to the realtor. Classically, it's the price for whole month, and then you pay another price for the rent, right, to your landlord. Very tricky, guys. I hate realtors and I hate these real estate agents. They are the monsters, I would say. Sorry, guys. Let's continue next. So the realtor is going to give us a showing of the apartment this afternoon. So the focus word here is a showing. And a showing is a scheduled appointment to view a house or an apartment that is for rent or for your sale, It's the official tour of the property. So if you give a showing to someone, you're showing your apartment. And when people need to give a showing, you need to give a showing when you're selling your apartment. You need to give a showing when you want to give your apartment for rent. That's actually when you need to show your apartment. You call it a showing. And in this situation, the realtor is going to give us a showing of the apartment this afternoon. So 12 p.m., we have a showing. And that's the last phrase for today, guys. So we had discussed pretty enough some essentials. I want to read all of them, and maybe we'll have a little revision about the whole thing. So I read the question, I read the situation, and then I ask you a question. You give me the answer, okay? That would be our little reflection and comprehension part. So, by the way, do you know what is comprehension part? It's when I asking you a question and you give me the answer. Pretty simple, right? So I can't afford this place unless I get a roommate to split the cost. So why should I have a roommate? Indeed, to split the costs. It's cheaper with a roommate. The apartment is great, but the landlord wants a 12-month lease, which feels like a big commitment. So in this section, I want to ask you why lease or 12-month lease is a big commitment. It's pretty simple because you should pay money and it can be a trap and the security as well, but generally a trap because you have a 12-month document, a lease. That's why it's a big commitment. It's a big responsibility. The rent is $1,500, and that doesn't even include utilities. So what can you call a utility? I would give you a couple examples. You let me know, is it a utility or not? So I bought an ice cream. Is it a utility? Nah. I paid for my internet. Yes, it is a utility because this internet was a cable internet in my apartment. I paid for an electricity. Yeah, it's a utility, of course. I paid for hot water heating system, right? Yes, it is a utility. Okay, you got this. Let's go next. Number 4. To get the keys, we have to pay the security deposit up front. So if I give you 500 rubles and I ask you to go and buy me the kebab, is it a security deposit? No, it's not. It's not a security deposit. What is a security deposit? Indeed, it's a deposit you make when you want to rent an apartment and you pay it in advance or after you leave. Yes, you pay it in advance. You pay it up front. We looked at one apartment that was completely run down. The paint was peeling and it smelled weird. What kind of apartment that you call very old, smell bad and looking weird, I guess? That's a rundown apartment. You are very good. So let's go next. So I'm looking for a furnished apartment because I don't own a bed or a sofa. So what does it mean when you have a furnished apartment? Yeah, you have a bed there, right? Yes, if you have a bed, it is pretty furnished already because you can sleep on it. But unfurnished apartments, they have nothing there. Maybe only the kitchen. That's it. So my current landlord is a nightmare. He never fixes anything. Oh my goodness. Who is a landlord? Yeah, it's a nightmare. It's a devil. Kinda. Landlord is a person who is controlling the apartment. He is the owner of the apartment. He wants money from you. By the way, a little funny fact about the landlords. It can be a landlord or a landlady. It's the opposite sex, right? So we have a landlord, a male, and landlady, the opposite sex. So it's a woman. So let's go next. It's in a very desirable neighborhood, so the rent is extremely high. So why the rent is extremely high? Indeed, because it's very desirable. It's in a good place, good location probably, right? So everybody wants that. That's why that's why the desire is pretty high and the price is very high. My job is transferring me to another city, so I might have to break my lease. When you're breaking your lease, do you break your leg? No, you're not breaking a leg, of course. Do you break your nose? Indeed, it's not that type of breaking, and you're not breaking your car, right? So you're breaking the contract. You're stopping your contract. So breaking this contract is stopping. You are kind of crashing the deal, right? You're not having it. So you're breaking it earlier than expected, and you should pay something for it. What do you pay? If you breaking your lease, you pay a penalty fee. Sounds very awful. Okay, let's go to the last but not least. The realtor is going to give us a showing of the apartment this afternoon. So what does realtor is going to give us? A showing. Pretty good. A showing. Okay, that's all for today, guys. Thank you for your listening. Thank you for your being with us here. And I hope I see you very soon. Don't forget to subscribe on our podcast everywhere where you listen to us. And then if you want to support us, you know where to go. It's Boosty Emotional English. And if you want to continue having our connection, so just go to Emotional English Community on TG, Telegram. I have a community on VK as well. So just find us there and let's stay in touch. I hope you guys have an amazing day and enjoy learning English. See you later. Bye-bye.